Your hand is empty, do 2 damage to the enemy hero. This is kind of like quick shot. Is it worth you having an empty hand? Can you empty your hand to make this worthwhile? So if you can empty your hand, throw down a Brave Archer, or play a Brave Archer, empty your hand, and then throw down quick shot, you will see, I guarantee it, people trying to abuse this with small hands. In a Rush Hunter you could throw this in and it may well just see play. You want it to be the last thing in your hand before your hero power, and that could just make Rush Hunters that little bit more nasty. Expect people to see this and gun it down. Ram Wrangler. If you have a beast, summon a random beast. Now, expensive mana cost. This is exactly like a Grim Patron in terms of cost. But if you've managed to build a beast board, this is trying to encourage hunters to play mid to late game a bit, I think. Summon a random beast. That beast could be great, that beast could be terrible, but it's helping you build a board. At the cost of mana, you get a 3/3 average minion, but then you can double up your beasts on the table. Random beast could be great, could be terrible. Let's try and use it. I think mid to late game hunters are trying to be encouraged a little bit. We've covered Demon Fuse, we've covered Spellslinger, and then the Cavalier Raider. That's a nice neutral card. Inspire gain 2/2. This is mid game. You would have got a lot of better stuff down in the mid game, but then it's an immediate target for your opponent. Can you play it behind a tank and build it up? In Arena, that's a great choice. Great indeed. So we then have Maiden of the Lake. We have covered. We have got a Fallen Hero. And there we go. So we've talked about these hero card buffing type things. And your hero power doing 1 extra damage. So for a 2/3/2 solid minion, then your mage hero power ping does 2 rather than 1 for 2 mana. Good while it lasts. I really like this card. Holy Champion. Whenever a character is healed, gain 2. Now think of Priests. Think of the healing you can do. Think of Circle of Healing. Think of Northshire Cleric that gives you cards when you heal. Think of Holy Champion. Think of all of the strong early to mid game minions that Priest has, like the Dark Cleric, which gives things 4 health. Imagine if your Dark Cleric dies and buffs your Holy Champion for 4 health. You heal your minions and you gain 2 attack. This Holy Champion could become so strong so fast. Priests will play this. Expect early to mid game pressure. It is going to be strong. It's going to be painful. I see that getting play. It's going to be healed with Northshire Cleric. Pretty enthusiastic, as you might have gathered from my little monologue about Holy Champion. Like that as soon as I saw it. Going to get played. Lance Carrier, covered. And Healing Wave, restore 7 health. Reveal a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, restore 14. So that is Shamans have often complained about not having healing. Blizzard, I think, have just turned around and thought, you know what, yeah, let's not only give you a heal, let's give you a heal in spades. That is a very mana efficient heal. For 3 mana. 3 mana, 7 health restore. Excellent. It's kind of like a druid healing touch. But then if you get a bigger minion, you restore 14. So in the late game, this could be absolutely ridiculous. And if you play this late game, you're more likely, probably, depending on how your deck runs, of course, you need to build the deck around it, you're going to be more likely to actually be throwing out big minions. So I really, really like that. Really, really awesome. Okay. You're waiting for the Golden Legendary. Golden Rare, Cut Purse. Okay. Silent Knight we've covered. Tournament Medic we have covered. Undercity Valiant we have also covered. And then Convert. Put a copy of an enemy minion into your hand. Could be any enemy minion, so we just don't know what. But could be quite interesting. Bone Guard Lieutenant, we've not seen this. Inspire, gain 1 health. So that's a strong minion. The more it inspires, the more it will grow. So not too bad. You kind of see this as sort of the, Argent Tournament early game minion set. Pretty strong, I think. I like. Oh, we got an epic? Kodo Rider. Now this I feel is dangerous. Now, it's a neutral. I think in certain decks this could fit very well. Use your hero power, summon a 3/5 War Kodo, and if your opponent doesn't kill this minion in one go, okay, it's turn 6, this drops. You might not be able to hero power that turn. Your opponent immediately has to kill this. Otherwise, you hero power summon a Kodo, hero power summon a Kodo, and you get the picture. Suddenly, the board becomes really hard to control. 5 health is an awkward amount to remove. So, I want to think, that I like new card effects, and me feels that this is powerful, but it's how it's then followed up afterwards. So, obviously, Force of Nature, Savage Roar, this is great, could be great for druids. People will target this and gun it down. Let's jury out on this one, but I like the look of it. Wormrest Agent for Priest. If you're holding a dragon, we've covered that. Flame Lance we've covered. Flame Juggler we have also covered. And this is where I think, hopefully, we can speed up and start enjoying the pack openings. Dragonhawk Rider gains Wind Fury for this one turn only. That's pretty nasty for an early game card. Remember, of course, that you have things like the Shaman Whirligig Bot and things, Whirligig Bot, not its real name, that have permanent Wind Fury. A little wind. Oh, sorry. Of course, it's Inspire. So all you do whenever you use a hero power against Wind Fury, so that people will get and target and gun down. I expect to see that in Shaman decks. That's a nice 3/3/3. Good in any class. Shamans will love it even more, I feel. Or things that can put up tanks. Potentially even a Rush Hunter card. Throw that in. Hero power. Do 6 damage. That could be an even more aggressive turn 3 option for Rush Hunters. Pit Fighter we've covered. Wormrest Agent. There are some nasty early game tools as well. We've covered all those. Ping. And in the Garrison Commander for more. Big welcome to Umbra. Good to see you. I need to have a look at Garrison Commander again. Umbra says the Garrison Commander for more Kodos each turn. Yes, I think that's give Cardiff. Yeah, I can't remember it, but I know what you mean. Living Roots. Warhorse Trainer. Right, this is valuable. Your Silver Hand recruits have 1 attack while this is alive. So remember that we can play something like Muster for Battle, we can summon a Silver Hand recruit as a pally, we can buff with Warhorse Trainer. If we can put a shield up, we can then do Muster for Battle, summon all of the 3 Silver Hand recruits, and then we can Quartermaster. This is one of the cards that potentially make Paladin token decks even more powerful. Covered Bash, Fist of Jaraxxus, Erodar, Lord of the Burning Legion. When you play or discard this, deal 4 damage. So if you have to discard this with other Warlock discard effects, you're going to do 4 damage to random anyway, or you have to play mana. So really, you want this in your hand to discard, because then you just get 4 damage. But again, with the random enemy effect, you would ideally want no minions on the table, and for the last enemy to be the enemy hero. That would be most useful, of course. Healing Wave, covered. Wrathguard, also covered. Fearsome Doomguard, also covered. And Confuse, I love that for priests. Swap the health and attack of all minions. That could be nasty. Now, of course, if you're playing things, late game cards, which, you know, like giants and things, which are kind of like even, then they are not particularly nice. Not particularly nice. Because that's just going to not really do anything. I captured Jormungandr. Stats kind of balance out for its cost, but I think that's just one of those neutrals which you'll see played in Arena. Hey, it's a nasty tank if you can throw down Sun Fury, but by turn 7 you should have probably done other things in most constructed decks. I feel. Is it Jano? Mortilli campaign. When we hit 50 viewers we can have mods. Modness. Does it count as discard if it's milled away? That's a very good question, Umbra, which we shall have to look into. Brave Archer, Wormrest Agent, Living Roots, Bear Trap. I do like that Bear Trap. Warhorse Trainer, Fencing Coach, we've covered. I like Warhorse Trainer. I'm glad I've got 2 of those because it means we can immediately start playing Paladin decks. 2 Pit Fighters. I believe it was Castorella who was saying that they got multiples of the same. You're in good company. Big shout out to PG Stark, who is indeed streaming sometimes now. He must be checked out. More Warhorse Trainer. Totem Golem. Spawn of Shadows, that's new. Let's discuss that. Inspire, deal 4 damage to each hero. Now this I was thinking of combining with Flash Heal. So remember we were talking about Flash Heals and Orkanai Soul Priests earlier in the game. Imagine if you deal 4 damage to each hero, deal damage, you flash heal yourself to heal yourself up, and then suddenly throw down an Orkanai and start flash healing and mind blasting. There's going to be some priest deck which tries to abuse the Spawn of Shadows. You play it, and then if your opponent can't kill it, then you just use your hero power to heal yourself, and then you take damage. And then you can heal yourself cheaper with flash heal than your opponent can kill you. You can heal yourself up quicker than your opponent can kill you, and then suddenly you use Orkanai to flip the tables. So I'm going to try and make a deck around that. We'll theorycraft out a priest deck. We'll add that to the list, and we've covered the rest of those. Dalaran Aspirant we have covered. Tusker Shells to be also covered. We're starting to see. Oh, Golden Demon Fuse. Yeah, very good, very good. Loving the follows. Evil heckler. Well, he doesn't look at those heckling, he does look kind of evil. That's what I call just a not particularly solid tank. You will use different tanks. Saboteur, your hero's battle. Your opponent's hero power costs 5 more next turn. Now, I do not see how this is tech. This would be used spasmodically, I think. When would your opponent play a hero power that would be so dangerous that you play this just to counter it? I can't think of a situation of that right now, but maybe Grand Tournament and the new hero powers will make that more valuable. But the Saboteurs, I'm question its use right now, but maybe that when the meta sort of shakes out, there'll be a situation where you really need to deny hero power use. You know, like Lotheb denies all spells by making them cost 5 more. Always useful. Denying hero power? Haha, Murloc Knight, gonna have fun with that. North Sea Kraken, this is a solid late game minion that will see play in Arena. I do not really see it having huge play in Constructed. I could be wrong. It could be a nasty little finisher to pick off a table or something. Remove a tank. It's okay. Maybe it's got a tech use. On lethals, if you can control the board and it will count on a paladin power. Yes, very true. Murloc Knight I like. I know you guys were mentioning this earlier. Inspire, summon a random Murloc. We're swarming with token minions. We can swarm with loads of paladin minions, and suddenly we can play Murloc Knight, and we can swarm with Murlocs as well as Silverhand recruits. Nasty. Health will keep that alive. Not such a bad turn 4 drop. People will try play it. Druid of the Saber. New Druid card. Transform to game charge. And I'm guessing that the transformations with all the new Druid cards, they have counted as beasts. Transform to gain charge or 1-1 in stealth. So that's not so bad. You can have a 1-1 with stealth, which is cool. You can the Force of Nature Savage Draw setup. You can gain charge and trade in the early game. That'd be nice again, along with the other options we've seen. Another way of Druids trying to get early game control with minions. Ta-da! Score! It has got dark. So I'm going to turn on the light, and you can examine Aviana, our first legendary, and then we can go and discuss that. We have the epics. We have the mad epics. Zane. Zane. That's crazy. Let us get the light. We'll put our faith in the light. So, your minions cost 1. Now, really you want to ramp this out early. This is kind of extreme ramping. Now, I think it was confirmed by Blizzard. I'll double check that if you play I've forgotten his name, Emperor Thorison off of Blackrock Mountain, your minions then cost 0. But Aviana, if you play her on turn 9, your opponent is probably going to deal with her unless you've controlled your opponent as a druid so much that this then just lets you flood and win. So it's a win condition, but remember that it needs to survive for a turn. And as PG has just said in the chat, yes, combined with Innovate. How can you get this out early? Now, if you play a Thorison and get this cheaper and cheaper, you need to play it at a stage either where you've got enough to protect it, or whether your opponent just simply cannot destroy it. It looks, pardon me, OP, but remember, it's got 5 health. It's a big, fat target. Your opponents are literally just going to put a solid crosshair on the head of this card and then just totally sort of try and wipe it out of the way. So it is good in theory. I've already seen people on Hearthstone and other similar popular deck sites, other deck sites are available, try and theorycraft this into ramp druids. So it's good. Let's give it a go. I think we should definitely try it, but you need to make sure that you've got the table under enough control, that it lives for a turn, and that you've got enough minions in your hand to make it worthwhile. So a little bit of caution on that one. Grand Crusader, add a random paladin card to your hand. It's okay. The random paladin card might be great, it might be terrible. Paladin have some fairly terrible class cards, or average class cards. When your turn starts, give your minions a 1-1. This is quite nice. I mean, if you're filling the table, pretty much. PG does make a point about Aviana. You can get the turn out and then them. I don't think we're actually going to be able to jump in and play any ladder today because of the pack opening, but we'll try and do that tomorrow or later in this week. So competitive spirit, I think for a mana that is pretty cool. Giving all of your silver hand recruits 1/1 for 1 mana. Really throw this down as a secret your opponent triggers when your turn starts. So I guess this just triggers at the beginning of next turn. I'd have to double check on that. But that's not bad. The mana efficiency is strong. Covered. Argent Watchman, haven't covered. Can't attack. Inspire, can attack as normal this turn. So it's kind of like Ancient Watcher. But use your hero power and suddenly it can attack. So not awful. Throw that down. Could be a good aggro sponge. I see that as being like Shaman. You could throw that down, trigger a totem, and then trade away aggro. Shadow Pan Rider we have not covered. Rogue combo of gaining 3. I like this. If you can throw it down, remember that rogues have got all kinds of things that will let you reduce the costs of cards. You can play a preparation. All you need to do is shout a lot and edit it poorly, and it's like a FIFA video. If only I had the views of FIFA videos. Combo of gain 3 attack, 3 attack, 7 health. So giving this 6 attack and 7 health, playing it after something like a preparation, nice. I see play for this. Mid to late game rogue will be a thing, particularly with the Anubarak rogue legendary, which is really awesome. I think it's Anubarak. Very, very awesome. Did I meet a VP at ESL? I saw Pasha. Jimothy says that secret can be good when people play around Avenge and your full master then becomes 2/2 and then quartermaster for the amazing turn 5. I could not agree more. Everyone, big welcome to Jimothy and Mucho Random, by the way, to splendid chaps. Do welcome them. And Paul Walker, good to see you as well. CS triggers at start of turn only if you still have minions, says Umbra. Thank you very much. Totally covered. We've covered the Dragonhawk Rider, the Pit Fighter we have not. Sideshow Spell Stealer, copy the Hill Parrot, we have also covered that. Down that goes. Oh, it's not one of the amazing ones. Chillmore is not. He's okay. Taunt, Death Rattle. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to all minions. Mega AoE. And he's a tank. So you throw him down and think of like the old tank what did crazy damage. I can't remember it. It was that tank. I can't remember. The one that when it died did like damage to all minions before Sludge Belcher became popular. I'll remember it. Okay, so long story short, I might shard Chillmore. He's not awful. The AoE suddenly like messes up the table. So okay, in a dragon deck he's reasonable tech, but he is expensive. If you need to clear the table when you're playing a dragon deck, he's excellent. I need to think on that one as to whether it's viable. So not an insta shard, but initially not sure how that's going to be of huge use. I think Zane saying that card goes straight into Easy Legend is probably all of the analysis that it needs. Shady Dealer, if you have a pirate game 1/1, it's Pirate Fam. If you want to play a pirate deck, add to the Pirate Fam. It's fine, otherwise it won't see play. Not many people play pirates en masse. Tournament Legend, rare. Evil Heckler, done. This is where the packs get a bit faster. Oh, and it's another fairly average one. Aegis Darkmane. Whenever you target this minion with a spell, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Now, I say fairly average, but think of what decks do you actually use where you buff cards a lot. The only one I can think of really is Priest, where you actually target minions with spells. You know a card is lost when Zano likes it, says PG. In Priest you can drop this in the early game and you can be buffing it, it'll be pretty solid. But things like Power Word Shield, play this in the early game with a Power Word Shield with Priest, that's not so bad, and this can trade against aggro, so I'll take that back. But it is a situational one. So let's see if that pans out in the meta. It's early game, it's playable, it's quite nice from that perspective. The stats are reasonable. You can target it with spells, but you need to be in a deck where it's definitely going to be able to be done. And we've covered all of those. So yeah, let's see how she works out. Ice Rager, that's new. Magma Rager. This is like a slightly better Magma Rager. So this is going to be statistically It looks like Slipper and Mech says Umbra. Yes, that could work. Spare parts, a very good call by Umbra. Play that in the deck with spare parts, and she becomes a very strong early to mid-game threat. Mech Mage indeed. Mech Mage indeed. Ice Rager, 5 attack, 2 health, rather than the 1 health. So maybe it will be the second most card statistically you're going to lose after, rather than the Magma Rager. It means that the ice is going to rage, as opposed to the magma raging. Yeah, I went there. I'm sorry. Straight into easy for the Rager too. Refreshment Vendor. Restore 4 health to each hero. No. That's my judgment of that. Knight of the Wild. Whenever you summon a beast, reduce the cost of this card by 1. Nice. Imagine on Unleash the Hounds, you can play a free Knight of the Wild. That could get played a bunch of... sorry, it's a Druid card, which means no, but still works. Beast Druid is definitely something that Blizzard are trying to develop, all of the new cards, the little tweaks. I like Silverhand Regent, summon a Recruit. That's good for other decks. You know, a Paladin, you probably wouldn't drop that, but if you really wanted to be aggressive with minions in the early to mid game, sort of a rushy Paladin, that could be quite cool. Easy as Reborn. Okay, well I'm hoping if nothing else this will give Zano plenty of fodder to get to work on a new easy legend. Argent Horse Rider, charging and Divine Shield, expensive health wise for what it has, but not the most awful card. An epic, and we have a Dark Bargain again, as well as a rare King's Defender. Bolster we haven't covered, Taunt Minions 2-2. You can see with the King's Defender that with an early game taunt you get an extra durability. Bolster giving taunts 2-2. They're trying to make like a tank warrior. They're trying to encourage you to play lots of taunt cards in a warrior. I think it's a good job that we have actually tried all those cards. And we've covered all those, so we're starting to get into repetition now. And the City Valiant, Golden Common, and an Epic. What have we got? Lock and Load. Okay, so Hunter-wise, there was lots of QQ, TTYY sadness about this. Each time you cast a spell this turn, add a random Hunter card to your hand. Now that sounds crazy until you think, right, well when can I actually play this? It's a spell hunter. It's like almost a weapons hunter. So think of the cost of hunter spells. There's nothing that reduces the cost of hunter spells hugely. So if we have a look at hunter spells, you have lots of stuff you can play, but most of them are 2 mana or 3 mana. So you can't play this earlier in the game. What this really gives you is mid to late game card refill for a hunter. So you can play this and maybe 1 or 2 cards after it. 1 or 2 spells, or you save up a hand of spells, then, you know, turn 6 onwards, you play this in 1 spell, this in 2 spells, this in 3 spells. That would be quite unlikely. Sorry for the high-pitched whistle that may have shredded your ears a little bit. I do apologise for that. But Lock and Load, you need a bunch of spells in hand that you can throw down, and you want to throw down at least 1 or 2 to make this worthwhile. Spending the 2 mana to activate this ability effectively. You know, you play 2, and then you've got the more cards you play, the more cards you get in hand. Add a random Kantahar to your hand, but remember that it's not even drawing, this is replenishing cards that you don't have. So mid to late game hunter, additional card value, so you can do burst. I haven't seen Amaz's win with the Lock and Load, but I'm guessing he does something crazy. Hang on, Amaz. Ball of Spiders, 3/1/1 web spinners, expensive for what it does I feel, but remember that the web spinners when they die give you random beasts, so there's this trend of late game hand refill, or late game second wave with hunters rather than just a rush I feel. And we have covered these others. Orgrimmar Aspirant, Fist from Doomguard, Flame Knots, Cut Purse, Refreshment Vendor. And here we are beginning to see the wonderful repetition, 136 cards. We have covered many minions. Alexstrasza's Champion, we haven't covered. If you're holding a dragon, gain 1 charge. Good for Dragon Warriors. Kind of like, I'm probably going to say Po from Kung Fu Panda. I believe he's the Dragon Warrior. Maybe he's something else. But yeah, Dragon Warrior, people start trying to play with dragons and warriors with Blackrock Mountain. Ooh, epic. Grand Crusader, again. I feel like I'll probably shred these. For the dusts. Flame Lancer, Bertrap, Burgle. Burgle is new. Add 2 random class cards to your hand from your opponent's class. It's the Hamburglar. I swear that's the Hamburglar from Ronald McDonald. Look at his face. They drawn him like the Hamburglar. McDonald's are coming for Hearthstone in strength with lawyers. So 2 random class cards could be great, could be terrible. One of those things that's always going to put a little bit of fear into your enemy. What do you think of the pally card? It puts 1 of each secret into your deck into play. I like it. I like it, Jim. I like it very much. It's very fun. And wouldn't be too bad. I think that Paladin Secrets backing things up. There's loads of nice secrets you can do. And if you have the right secrets, you can suddenly get a hugely nasty board. You can kind of almost protect everything as well, like with Avengers and things like that. I saw him and I thought he was cool. I would like to try to play him. Right, so far. Dalaran Aspirant, Colosseum Manager, Dragonhawk Rider, Warhorse Trainer. The multiples are strong with this one. Burgle is cheaper than the Dragon. Oh, I've got the Lightbane, Darkbane and Lightbane Sisters. Okay, so whenever you target this minion with a spell, gain Divine Shield. Now, thanks to Umbra's good point earlier, Hammy likes it, makes a note not to put it into EZ version 3. Dan Wisp, another valued and wonderful stream legendary. So whenever you target this one with a spell, gain Divine Shield. Now, lovely stuff. So I have to admit, Umbra made an awesome point, and thank you, Umbra, for opening my eyes and reminding us with your wisdom about spare parts. Now, think of these in a mech mage. Okay, these disrupt your early game mech synergy a tad, but if you're buffing them with a priest, or if you're buffing them with spare parts in a mech mage, these cards are nasty. They trade hard and they live quite long, so not too bad whatsoever. Oh, Beneath the Grounds. I like this. Now, this is fun. Shuffle 3 ambushes into your deck. When drawn, you summon a 4/4 Nerubian. But if your opponent draws one of the ambushes, the card ambush itself says draw a card. So remember, this doesn't stop your opponent from drawing a card. If they draw this, they draw the card they would have drawn normally, but it just gives you a 4/4 Nerubian. Now, I really like this, and again, this encourages. It's like the Burrowing Mine from the Warrior legendary, whose name I forget. But the Burrowing Mine that shuffles a mine that explodes with 10 damage or whatever into your opponent's deck. This gives your opponent more threat in the late game. This gives you, more threat in your late game. Your opponent is always going to be worrying and just got at the back of the mind like, oh, I'm going to draw another Nerubian. Oh, what happens if that Nerubian gets drawn? And the later the game goes on, if you get one of these, you've got value back. 3 for a 4/4. If you get 2 of them drawn, then you're doing even better. If you get all 3, then your opponent is just, fighting and fighting and fighting against this ever-building board that's going to be hard for them to control. Control it first? Yeah, sure. Control it twice? All right. Control it 3 times? That's really, really going to sort of slow your opponent down. And, if all of that control is getting sucked up, then it's going to give you opportunities to really, really seize board and table control. So, big fan of that. We'll definitely try that out. And mid to late game Rogue, if it wasn't popular with Tinker Sharp Sword Oil and the sort of Tinker's Rogue, will become even more popular, I think. Polymorph Boar, I like this for Mage. It's it looks janky and a bit gimmicky to start with, but transform a minion into a 4/2 Boar with charge. Now you could transform one of your opponent's minions and use it as like another polymorph, or you could use it on one of your own minions and buff it up to become even more nasty. So for that reason, I like it as control. I also like it as a bit of fun. Welcome to all of you joining. We are just doing openings. We may then play a ladder game or 2. We'll see how we get on. I think we're going to have to finish this evening after the pack openings, but we'll be back playing more ladder with more videos on YouTube also later this week. Do come and have a look at the YouTube in the left column. Of course, it's going to be getting back up to speed. We've covered all of those cards, so for you new folks, I will cover these on video. I'm thinking that Hearthstone wants us to play poly to get double attack off the minions. Very true. Mogor's champion, Mogor the Ogre, 50% chance to attack the wrong enemy. That's a very powerful 8/5 for 6 mana. Silence it. Nice. Buff its health, even nicer. We will see play in arena. 2 Murloc Rights. Boar is great for offense or defense as Umbra. Yes, plus new expansion. Welcome them and hope that they stay. Of course, we all want you new people. You new people to come and join. Come join, come stay. Stay a while and listen, as Deckard Cain would say, for those of you with a Diablo bent. Diabolo. Evil Heckler. A golden rare in the Argent Watcher. And an Argent Lance. Got lots of... Basically, I think these packs are telling us to play Paladin. Ball of Spider. Tuskartu Timic. All of these, I think, yeah, Hearthstone is saying play Paladin and play. The first FailCraft deck is going to be Paladin. A Recruiter. Inspire, add a 2/2 Squire to your hand. So that is nice. I need to have a look at the Squire token. Maybe we can just quickly bring that up. Squire. Oh, hang on, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm going to go to hearthpwn.com. Other fine Hearthstone sites are of course available. Fair credit to Hearthpwn for their lovely card spoilers and things. Very, very cool. Yeah, show me the tokens. I'm going to go down and look at the token to see what exactly this generates. Tokens. Where is it? It's not there. The 2/2 Squire. Maybe it's... Okay, we're going to have to find out what that Squire is. Oh, just the mana cost is what interests me there. The Seal of Champs and another rare. Okay. So, let us get through our final few packs. We'll have to finish the stream after these packs, but we will be back, I think, let's go for tomorrow. But we'll definitely be back another couple of nights this week for Hearthstone Half Hours, usual stream time, 7:30 or 8 o'clock UK, where we jump on in and I want to play the new ladder with our new decks. There's our final pack. Wow. Okay, so a golden common. Okay. I love this holy champion. I think priest. I want to give a control-y priest a go as well. So that is our pack opening. Shall we just see, in terms of Argent Tournament, how well we're doing? Oh, ooh, that's card backs. Show me. I call it Argent Tournament. It's actually Grand Tournament. Let's turn on that wonderful. Oh, I get 920 dust. I may as well just quickly do that. Mega dust. Dust me. Yeah, there we go. Okay, lots of dust. Right, so I just want us to. Ooh, not crafting. Oh yeah, if we go into crafting mode, just remove that filter, so we can see what we've missed. Some of the cards we may see a little bit further. Malts, destroy a random minion, add a random minion to your opponent's hands. Astral Communion, Mad Ramping, gain 10, discard your hand. We'll have to try and cover that. Wild Walker, Friendly Beast, 3 health. Oh, we got our legendary though, so that's pretty cool, right? Hunters, we missed out on Power Shot. Deal 2 damage to a minion, the minions next to it. Nice aggro control. Stable Master, Beast with Immune. Dread Scale, this combos with the other Hunter cards. So deal 1 to all other minions at the end of your turn. And then you combo it with Acid Maw. Whenever another minion takes damage, destroy it. So if you can land 2 of those on 9 mana, 10 mana, then it's just a table clear of all your minions and the opponent's minions. So you yeah, you will actually lose Acid Maw as well. That's a bit of a janky combo, Dread Scale and Acid Maw, really. A little bit tough. Arcane Blast, spell, double bonus from spell damage, pretty cool. Effigy, friendly minion dies, summon a random minion with the same cost. Nasty. Caldara Drake we didn't get, you can use your hero power any number of times. People will try to abuse it. I like Ronin. Add 3 copies of missiles to your hand. Throwing down 3 arcane missiles, perhaps on top of the dude. The dude what lets you do damage. Flame Waker. Pally, Edric the Pure, change all enemy minions attack to 1. Good impact card, but we'll let you stomp them away with things like the Kodo. Mysterious Challengers, put one of each secret of your deck into the battlefield. This was the one that Jimothy was talking about. I like that. I think that there's going to be use for it with Pally Secrets. Shadow Fiend, whenever you draw a card, reduce its cost by 1. I like that very much. Imagine if you throw down a priest and it can't be destroyed, you put it up behind a tank, you then throw down, say for example Emperor Thorson. I will try play Shadow Themed. I like it. I like Confessor Peltras. Inspire summon a random legendary, but you need the Confessor to live a few turns. I expect we'll see lots of great highlight videos with the Confessor. I may try and build a priest deck also. Poison Blade, hero card gives this weapon 1 attack instead of replacing it until it dies. Interesting, but until it runs out of durability, of course. An Uberak, this will make late game rogues very nice. Return this to your hand and summon a 4/4 in Arabian. It's going to loop and loop and loop and loop and loop and loop until it can be silenced. Can it be silenced on turn 9? Can you control your opponent until you get an Uberak on the table? If you get an Uberak on the table and your opponent can't silence it, it's effectively a win condition if you can use it to nerf them into the ground before you die. Elemental Destruction, 5 damage to minions with Overload Fire. That's a ridiculous early game control, but then kind of totally disables you for a turn. Charged Hammer, I like because it's kind of Elemental Shaman. Your hero power dealing 2 damage is nice, lets you zap minions out of the way. Thunderbuff Valiant, remember we've built up our board with all of those totem cards before, and then give your totems to attack. Ooh, have a look at Shaman. The Mist Caller as well. Give all minions in your hand and deck 1/1. Indiscriminate. I quite like that, particularly if you've built up totems on the table. Tiny Knight of Evil. Whenever you discard a card, gain 1/1. Dreadsteed, that loops. If you can buff it, charge with it. When it dies, you get another Dreadsteed. When it dies again, it's a silence. Wilfred Fraserwan, card you draw from your hero power, cost 0. I quite like that. The longer Wilfred stays alive, and the more you can draw, the more awesome you obtain. Sparring Partner, early game taunt that goes with all of the other warrior taunt cards. And note that the battle cry gives a minion taunt. That lets you build your taunting bard to benefit from King's Defender, to benefit from Bolster. You've got this early game taunting warrior deck that they're trying to create there. Magnetor Alpha, that's got the Stampede of the Watertron 4000, not the Blingatron, but you know the legendary Goblins vs Gnomes mech. Sea Reaver, when you draw this, deal 1 damage to all your minions. It's pretty strong. Varian Win, or Confessor, says Jimothy. Draw 3, put any minions you drew directly into the battlefield. Now, I like this, however, the fact is with Varian Win, in the late game, if you were drawing lots of legendaries, great. If you're drawing lots of small minions, and by the time Varian hits the table, and he will have to hit the table turn 10, there's not really any way that I can think of off the top of my head that you can get him in earlier. You need to have minions left in the deck for him to be of benefit, so that lets you swarm the table in the late game. I like him because he's more likely to live a bit longer, but he's not easily just going to pop into a control warrior, but he might give you the condition. He's another win condition for control warriors though, so that might be nice. Cavaldir, it's kind of a budget version of the injured Blade Master. Garrison Commander, you can use your hero power twice a turn, a way of basically allowing other classes bar the mage to use twice a turn. Master of Ceremonies, have a minion spell damage, gain to 2. Crowd Favourite, whenever you play a card with Battle Cry, gain 1/1. These are all fairly straightforward, play them and benefit from buff effect cards. Gormok the Impaler, if you have at least 4 minions, deal 4 damage, fairly average. Twilight Guardian, another dragon. Holding a dragon, gain 1 and taunt, giving you this neutral dragon theme to help build out dragons. Next champion Sirad is a legendary. Add a random spell to your hand when you play your hero power. The longer he lives, we'll see some hilarity there. Bolt from Shield, whenever your hero takes damage, this minion takes it instead. Nice. Walls off your opponent, your hero. Lets you take some more damage. Nice health, make it into a tank. Justice of True Heart, replace your starting hero power with a better one. Those are all listed on the Hearthstone website. But say, instead of summoning a totem, you can pick the totem you want to summon as a shaman. You heal more, so all of the hero powers are upgraded. Scally Knight, reveal a minion in each deck. If it costs more, return this to your hand. That's not really great because then you have to play it again. Sky Captain Crag, charge. It's good for that alone. Costs 1 less for each friendly pirate. Pirate Legendary. Ice Howl. Charge cannot attack heroes, but can then trade against minions. silence it, and it can attack heroes, but 10-10 is good, but would you rather play other stuff? Frost Giant costs 1 less for each time you used your hero power this game. So there we go. If you spam your hero power, then suddenly the Frost Giant can be played for little to nothing. So that's our lightning overview of the Grand Tournament. I may have missed some cards. I don't think I have. But I will go back and make sure and check the Legendaries and make sure I'm not going crazy. So thank you so much for tuning in. That, alas, is going to be our stream for today. I know I haven't streamed for a while. I will quickly say hello to you in the chat afterwards. And I will chop this up in some videos on YouTube. So if you've just joined us and you've missed the rest of this hour and a half or so, do check out YouTube, of course, youtube.com/FailCraft Casts. Not been many videos in the last 3-4 weeks, I know. The channel has been quite quiet. I do apologise for that. I'm going to try and get to maybe 2-3 videos a week. And probably a couple of streams a week at the moment. Work is very busy. I will explain all that in chat. And then also in a vlog that will go up on the channel sometime soon. If you're on YouTube, check out twitch.tv/FailCraftCast. This was streamed. We will go live. This schedule is now a little out of date. I will update it as to when realistically we're going to be live, because life is busy. We're not going to be live Monday through Friday anymore, but I will try and balance that out with more YouTube videos. And keep an eye on Twitter. We'll always tweet when we're streaming. At FailCraft Casts, and then the website failcraft.org, honestly updated a little bit more slowly than all of those other things. But I will try and throw videos, other bits up there when I can. So great to see you all. Thank you for tuning in on stream. Really good to see you on YouTube. Do let us know what you think of the Grand Tournament, what you think of these cards, what you would like to see us try out in terms of decks, all in the comments below on YouTube. And hopefully see you soon. Great to see you. Take it easy.